Please enjoy this free clip of the No Spin News. To watch the full episode, you have to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium member, but it's fun. Simply visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today. The first soundbite I want to run for you tonight is the most important soundbite of the speech. Go.
But let me be clear. Our forces are not engaged and will not engage in the conflict with Russian forces in Ukraine. Our forces are not going to Europe to fight Ukraine, but to defend our NATO allies in the event that Putin decides to keep moving west. For that purpose, we have mobilized American ground forces, air squadrons, ship deployments to protect NATO countries including Poland, Romania, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. And as I've made crystal clear, the United States and our allies will defend every inch of territory that is NATO territory with the full force of our collective power.
All right, so that's important because that tells Putin there will be a shooting war should you invade a NATO country. Remember, Ukraine is not a NATO country. It did not request admission to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Its government chose to follow a, quote, middle-of-the-road path, not to anger Putin further after he seized Crimea. Okay. Now, back home, things were not as strong for Joe Biden. And the best soundbite, apart from Biden's speech, was made by Democratic Senator Joe Manchin, who said this. Go.
One thing that hasn't been talked about as much is that during this time of war, the United States is still importing more than 500,000 barrels per day of crude oil and other petroleum products from Russia, with imports up over 20% in 2021 over 2020. To me, it makes no sense at all.
So that is a crucial piece of information. And President Biden did not mention it last night. Why are we still buying oil from Russia? Now, I suspect it's because the contracts had been signed way before the Ukrainian intrusion. However, you know Putin's a bad guy, and we're getting 7% of our oil. So the part of the conversation with Hannity was how are we paying for this? And I did some research before I came on the air after I talked with him. We pay in advance. So if you sign oil contracts, you pay in advance. So all of Russia's banks are now shut down, and but the stuff that we're getting now is already paid for. It's complicated, and I think that's why Biden didn't mention it, in addition to making him look bad, because it's not smart and wasn't smart at all to buy Putin oil when you're shutting down your oil production in the USA. Okay. Now, the weakest part of Biden's speech last night was inflation. He is absolutely clueless on how to bring inflation down because he doesn't understand or won't admit, one or the other, that by attacking the oil and fossil fuel industry, fracking, in the USA, you drove the price of fuel up here, Mr. President. You, no one else, not Congress, you drove it up. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's noticed everything is getting more expensive. We are in the biggest economic crisis since 2008, with a government that's printing trillions of dollars. Consumer prices at the highest we've seen in 30 years. Inflation certainly here. And if the government continues its out of control printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world's reserve currency. While paper money will eventually have a shrinkage in value, there are real tangible things that will always maintain value. So how do you protect your money, your retirement, your savings? American Hartford Gold can show you how to hedge your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. All it takes to get started is a short phone call, and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. Plus, tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. So please don't wait. Call them now, 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Bill O'Reilly here. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to the First TV YouTube page. Just hit the big red subscribe button below, and you'll get clips and highlights of my program, The No Spin News, every single day. We'll see you soon.